My aim in life was that if I, even in the army, when you went in the services during the war, you got some horrible jobs. We go in the cookhouse to dry about 6,000 dishes, you see, and in the latrines to clean them out. Well, if I had a job to do, even if it was scrubbing the floor, I wanted my floor to be cleaner than yours. Now, if everybody thinks along these lines and does all the small jobs to the best of their ability, that's honesty, then the world will be better, and football will be better. So what we want is hard work, and no football club was ever successful without hard work.
Right, good morning guys, it's Sean here back with another video from Shankly's boot room. So, yesterday's game. First of all, must give a few thanks there. Thanks for everyone that joined me on the live stream I did yesterday. I do appreciate it. First live stream was a bit of a mess up, half of it. Managed to get it all sorted and everything like that, and off we went. But yeah, it was a bit of a challenge, and it's going to be like that in the early days, I guess, with this channel. But you know, I want to get a nice setup probably in the new year now, start getting everything nicely set up and everything to do watch-alongs and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. It's nice to do it, and yeah, so it's brilliant. So yesterday, what a game. what a Christmas cracker, you could call it, I suppose, really. We kind of knew it was going to be a bit like that. Probably we didn't none of us predicted like a 6-3 game, but yeah, what a game. Just what a game, really. Amazing. But there we are, you know, it's when you play this Tottenham under Ange Postecoglou, this is what you kind of expect almost, really, you know. No defence and just sheer attack, which just plays into our hands. Do you know, isn't it interesting how all week long Slot was just giving him some sweet, giving Tottenham some sweets. Oh, they're brilliant. Oh, they're fantastic. You know, they've been so unlucky in a lot of games. You know, yeah, you know, they play beautiful football. The way they play is immense. You know, this guy is clever, you know, Slot. I'm telling you now, this guy is really clever because he just fed the media, fed everybody this spin about how good they are, and then he went out and bitch slapped them. They got slapped. And, you know, I mean, the first 40 minutes is probably, I would say, maybe our best of the season, really, in a concise thing. I think of Man City as well. But we were just brilliant. We were awesome. You know, we just were all over them. And then, of course, the goals, the Trent pass for Diaz's goal was, well, just absolutely world-class, really world-class. I didn't think he was always tracking Son as I would like to have done in the first half, but it didn't really come to very much, so it wasn't a problem. What's he doing out on the wing, by the way? Son needs to be central for me, but that's not my problem. But yeah, it was just an amazing game, really. When that little bit of a lull, I could see that lull coming. You know, that we had that lull halfway through the second half, with that 15 minutes or so, took the foot off the gas. Wasn't really tracking runners, stuff like that. And of course, that's where they got their 2 goals. The one thing with Tottenham, they will keep going. They're at home. They're an attacking side. They'll just keep going, you know, and they'll never give you a minute's peace all the time. Till the last final whistle blows, they are going to keep on going. And that's just the way they do it. And so we took and Slot picks up on that at the end of the game as well, mentions it quite a bit. It's amazing. We have a 6-3 win, and Slot's more worried about this is it, you see, this is it, guys. This is why I say, because a lot of people have likened Klopp to Bill Shankly, which I kind of get, because it's almost like some new foundations have been laid from the foundations he originally put down. But in terms of, maybe not in terms of the exuberance of the personality of, say, Bill Shankly, but in terms of actual character, he's very, very, very similar, Slot, to Bill Shankly, because Bill Shankly would have been more worried about the goals we conceded than the big win we had. You know, that's the way he was, a perfectionist, wanted to iron out every detail. And Slot is really, really the same, very, very much the same, you know. And I'm sure his daughters, if they haven't done their homework, they'll say to their mum, "Please don't tell Dad." You know what I mean? He smiles. He's got a lovely personality about him, but I wouldn't want to get on the wrong side of him. He's one of them kind of guys, and that's the kind of manager we need, I think, because when you're dealing with a lot of superstar players, it's very easy for them to get complacent, really, even though these have won it all, quite a few of them in the team anyway. And even though we're a really great team and all this kind of stuff, you still got to go out there and do it, and you still got to do it in a professional way, and you still got to do it, put the work in. So Slot will always be behind them to demand that. You can tell that. So that's a really plus point on that. Anyway, let's get to the game itself. So as I say, I don't want to just go into every single goal, because otherwise, we'll be here all day. But it was a controlled game, that first half. Second half, that again, we controlled it quite well. It's that 15-minute period where we just let ourselves down a little bit in terms of not keeping the ball well enough, not doing tracking runners, all that kind of thing. The 2 goals come through that, and that kind of thing. So let's go over the player ratings. For Alisson, I've given him a 7 for this match. I didn't think he particularly done a huge amount wrong, but I think no more than a 7 for him today, really. Trent, I thought, was absolutely brilliant, really. And in the first half, obviously the pass that Diaz was world class, and he'd done a lot of those sort of things. He was also defensively not too bad. And so I'm going to give him a 9. Gomez, I thought, done nothing wrong. I thought he was brilliant. It's difficult, because we conceded 3 goals today, but we have to put it into perspective of how we actually conceded those 3 goals, and 2 of them came through us switching off, really, and just being very complacent is how I put it. The thing is, when you're a team that's playing at a certain level, when you drop off, you do really drop off. It's a very noticeable thing, and it can give away at Tottenham, where they're already an attacking team. So every time they attack, the fans really get behind them. It's a great stadium. It's going to put you under. And but no, I thought Gomez had a brilliant game. Done everything. We have to remember, of course, we won the league with mainly Gomez and Van Dijk as the partnership as it is now. They're older now, of course, the 2 of them. And Gomez is a confidence player. The way he gets confidence is playing more games. So in this run where he gets more games, I expect him to give these consistent performances, actually. So I'm going to give him a 9, Gomez, along with Trent. Van Dijk, that's one of his off games for me. I thought he was a bit off today. I thought he was a bit off, and not his quite usual self. For that 3rd goal, the 2nd and 3rd goals, I don't know what he was doing, really. Especially in particular when you consider it doesn't even make any impact or jump or anything to try and stop the cross for the 3rd goal. Just watches it, just seems to watch it. It's really quite a strange performance from him. Gets a knock, which I don't think affected him too much. First I was a bit worried because he was limping a bit, but I don't think that was a reason as example for the 3rd goal. I just think it was one of them days, and everyone gets them. Robbo, I'm going to give a 7. He done okay. He was fine. I wouldn't say there was anything specifically outstanding, but just a good all-round performance. So he gets a 7 for me. Into the midfield, Gravenberch. It's funny with Gravenberch because he wasn't quite his tackling self, but he still made some of them beautiful turns, and he done a few long-legged runs and stuff like that. I'm going to give him a 7.5 for this game. I don't think he deserves higher than that, really. He was there doing stuff, but he just wasn't his quite imperious self. He is 1 card away from a ban, by the way. So whether he's protecting that a little bit, wanted to get through Christmas without having to face a ban, I don't know. Mac was culpable, of course, for the 1st goal to a certain point. Took his goal really well. Was just a master at controlling the ball. He is controlling the ball. When he's in the team, you can just see how much better we do control things. He's a really important player for us, McAllister, He really, really is. And I just thought he had a great game. I'm going to give him a 9. Right, on to Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai would have been my man of the match if it wasn't because of Mo Salah, and I'll go into why I'm saying that. But he covered every single blade of grass. He was absolutely fantastic, Szoboszlai. He really was. Took his goal well. I think Mo made the right decision. He could have gone left to Diaz, who I think would have been offside had he done it by the time he passed it. Sets Szoboszlai in, lines him up, and takes the shot well. But it's not just the goal, it's his all-round game. He was absolutely fantastic, Szoboszlai. And in the last 3 to 4 games, he's really stepped up. I was criticising him quite a bit for the earlier part of the season, but he's come on to now really be quite a force, I would say, actually, really, and he's just been absolutely fantastic. So he gets a 10 from me. Cody Gakpo didn't have his best game, I didn't think, out there. Probably should have scored. He gets a 7 for me. Diaz, what can we say about Diaz? Absolutely brilliant. All round fantastic. I just think he had a fantastic game. Was always ready, trying to receive the ball. Got a wonderful brace. Just an amazing player. I really, really give a lot of respects there to Diaz's performance today. When I first saw the team sheet, I thought he's playing in that 9 again, but he really wasn't. He was playing out on the wing sometimes. He was playing centrally at times. He was playing back a little bit at times. There's that rotation around the front that just really fascinates me, really. But great. Then Mo, of course, who I'm going to give the man of the match to, not just because of his brace, but his all-round performance was good, but it's the records he's breaking. It has to be acknowledged. And to go above Billy Liddell, the great Billy Liddell, who was one of the most respected players at Liverpool, if you look into the history of the guy, just a very quiet, unassuming man, just went about his job, was very respected by everybody. And to go above him in the goal scoring charts, and also to get 10 assists and 10 goals before Christmas and break that record as well, I just think you have to give him man of the match today, plus also his goals. So that's why he did it. Otherwise, it would have gone to Szoboszlai, definitely. On the sub side, we got Jota. I think he was okay. I'm going to give him a 6. The same for Nunez. Put himself about a little bit. Curtis, I didn't think made the impact I would have liked to see him do coming on. So I'm going to give him a 5.5. And Elliott, I thought, was the best of them. Looked to get straight into it. I'm going to give him a 7. And then for the manager, I'm going to give him a 10. I'm going to have to give him a 10. To play it so cool all week, saying, Tottenham are so fantastic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And just playing up to the crowd, and then to just go out and spank them was just, set the team out to just go out there and really go for it like he did. It was phenomenal. It really was. Great manager. He really is. We got ourselves a gem. Someone asked me the other day, because I'm new to this channel, people are asking my opinions on what I think about certain things, like what do I think about FSG? What do I think about? They want to know my mind on some of the hot topics at Liverpool. And I'm not an FSG in guy by any stretch. I'm probably an FSG out, if anything, because I feel they leave us short every year. But one of the things you cannot fault, whether it be them, it's not them directly, but allowing the people who know who we should be putting in place. Our last 2 managers, you just couldn't have asked for better managers, really. I mean, obviously Jurgen Klopp and now Arne Slot. I mean, I was very unimpressed when we got him to start off with. I had a little bit of a look at him, of course, but I just thought, 6 tiers roughly. The Dutch league is below Liverpool. He's coming into one of the biggest clubs in the world, and there he is. There he is, just trying to, what can I say? To me, he's just been absolutely flawless. Really, you can hardly fault him on anything. It's just been such a breath of fresh air. The way he does the press conferences, through to everything, to his post matches, I think is superb, because he's always critiquing something. Even though we've been so superb, and just a wonderful, wonderful guy. We're so pleased to have him. And this is, of course, coming from the point of view, we don't know what's going to happen. We can have a blip. We can have, and there will be hard times at some point with this manager. Of course, there will be. But what we have to take away from it, in its most point, is that, he's just come in and just tweaked things around and just made us a better team. It's been phenomenal. And you'll get all the people saying, like in the early times, we didn't play anyone. That was the first point. Then it was, well, he's just taken over Jurgen Klopp's team. That's why. He's still got to come in and do all this. He just cannot, he just can't come in and do nothing. He has to make an impact. To make an impact, he's got to still do it. You know what I mean? So he's been taking a lot of stick over that, and I just think it's haters, of course, but for me, he's been absolutely fantastic. So there we are. So that's a roundup of everything. probably won't speak to you now, guys, until after Christmas, of course. So I want you to, everyone have a great Christmas, won't you? I thank you to everyone that's subscribed to the channel up to now. I do really appreciate it. And like I say, in the new year, we'll look to change things up a little bit and modernise things a bit on terms of software and stuff, hopefully, and but more good things to come with the channel. I want to have an historical look at the channel as well. So we're going to look at some of the old players that used to play for Liverpool and just reminisce a little bit there with some of our old players and just give them a bit of a spotlight, really. Because this team, what we have now, all came from somewhere, you know, and started from somewhere. So we need to look at the history of the club as well. It's a very important locally to Liverpool, and it's very important to us as Liverpool fans. Never forget where you come from. But yeah, most of it will be focusing on the team now and moving forward and everything like that. Obviously, we've got January coming up, so what we're going to do in the market is what we'll be looking at. So we'll be looking at some of that stuff. So yeah, but thanks, guys. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you come across this video, and please share it with your friends. Just another Liverpool channel out there, I know, but I'll be so pleased to have you guys on board. So yeah, have a good Christmas, and I'll speak to you soon.